Warmdown Pod with Jose and Saucy.
The Warmdown Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone and is recorded at 24A An Siang Road. Trigger warning, this recording may include harsh words, and we apologize in advance if you are offended.
Welcome back again to the Warmdown Pod and Sassy.
Hello.
I'm wearing a cap today because I see you wearing caps all the time, and I figured, okay, fine, I need to wear my Tommy Hilfiger cap.
Yes.
Right? And that's exactly what I'm doing.
You're looking very sporty today.
Oh, it's my usual garb. It's just that, you don't see me that often.
Yeah.
But yes, as we know by now, I'm the Tommy Hilfiger ambassador. Sorry, yes, I'm unofficial. I don't get paid for it. Okay. But then what have you been up to?
I've been great. What we've been doing different this week. I've been trying to up my workouts this week actually. Found a simple route which is about 150 meters, right? So I figured that if I run this 150 meters 10 times, I get 1.5 clicks. Or if I run it 20 times, I get 3 clicks, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's been quite a brainless activity for me because literally this 150 meters is in my housing estate that is unblocked and is straight road, right? Up and down. Fitness, if you want to be fit, right? At the end of the day, you got to find what works, right? So for me, there's a lot of construction happening at my place. So rather than go out, I found this strat. So it's been quite great for me, and my son can do sprints while I take a slow jog, right? Yeah. That's what I've been focusing on this week.
Work has kept me insanely busy, and I'm also been keeping tabs on what's happening in the Middle East because a lot of us may feel like we're detached from the action.
You're only detached until you go pump petrol, right?
You actually would not imagine what it costs and how much things have actually gone. How much petrol costs right now? Petrol beacon.
Yeah.
I think you remember last episode. That's where I just returned from the US. Prior to heading to the US, I bought my car petrol. I remember I used the 98, right? Today it's like $1 more.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like people who are we're not detached from what's happening there. We are impacted by it.
You're definitely impacted.
Right.
Yeah.
This is not a political podcast. No, but the impact today we're gonna discuss would be about how what is happening right there is actually gonna impact sports.
Yeah, it is definitely going to do. It already has, right? Yeah.
And first and foremost, because one of our subject matters have always been the Asian Cup because of Singapore's participation, next year in January. But the Asian Cup is going to be held in Saudi Arabia, which is right smack middle in the action where all these projectiles and drones are flying over.
Scary, yeah.
And as of now, there are 2 F1 racers in the Emirates as well as in Saudi.
And some ACL games, Asian Champions League games have been postponed as well.
Right. So we are in a unprecedented times, right? And think about it. From whatever I've been following and listening, to international global news, CNN, BBC, it does look like it might end up becoming a
prolonged event, prolonged event, and Asian Cup sits in the middle of it, right? And also the World Cup, right? Iran is in the World Cup.
Yeah. So
right.
Let's strip it down right now, step by step. Coming up soon is the World Cup.
Yeah.
Right. Iran already has given some indication that it may be forced to pull out. There's been no word now yet whether they have pulled out.
Yeah.
Right. But there's some indications that they may need to pull out. Why? Because the World Cup is being held in the United States, Canada, as well as Mexico. And how do you reconcile that, right? There's this ongoing conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran. Iran's national team, football team, have got to be playing in the US, right? How do you even
reconcile the whole thing? How do you even fathom?
Are you gonna go to playing this World Cup in the
US?
And even if you want to, as a team, your government may not allow it.
Yeah.
Right? So it's not exactly peachy, right? This moment where, so Iran might actually pull out on the World Cup. Who's going to take the place of Iran?
How they gonna?
Yes.
Are they gonna go to the next best Asian qualifier?
Who
Are they Iraq? Right? No, was it Iraq?
who that is? So that's the thing. I mean,
Yeah.
how do they? I mean, because there's no contingency.
There's no contingency.
They have to do a playoff between one of the.
The qualifying continents, right? Could they have Iran's game played in Mexico or something? Could that be a solution?
Well, that
Yeah.
could be a solution, right? So maybe that's something which, but FIFA cannot just unilaterally now make that decision, because you've got to engage all the teams who are involved
Yeah.
in the group, or because this is not a game of cards. I mean, seriously, high performance teams will prepare long in advance, do keys reconnaissance, to find out the location where they're staying, which hotels they're staying, time to take for them to get from venue to venue, stadium to stadium. They do all of that. And the World Cup was just a couple of months away. I mean, when I was in San Francisco just a few weeks ago, pop-up stores selling merchandise are already, coming up all over the US, for example, right? They are getting into I don't think the teams are going to like it if they're selling to, you got to move from Switzerland to Mexico, but something. And I don't think FIFA unilaterally will make that decision, right? So it is not exactly ideal. So, that's the first point, right? If Iran pulls out, it's unprecedented. And, in the modern day, who will take the places first? But even we don't know.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's got to think Asian team.
Yes, we're an Asian team.
It'd be interesting to see what exactly FIFA does, right? So that's the World Cup.
Yeah.
There will be two scenarios. Iran pulls out, Iran does not pull out. If Iran pulls out, we really have, you got to find a replacement. Whether or not the team, I mean, obviously, I think the replacement team would love to go, but they would need to prepare. If Iran does not pull out, how would they perform in a country where, there's an ongoing conflict between them and the host nation?
Yeah, and the host nation. So
security-wise, there'll be issues of security, there'll be issues of conflict, there'll be issues of protest, they'll feel so pressured, it's
yes.
reminds issue also of the 1998 World Cup where so we had Iran play against the US and beat them.
Yeah.
Right. And you saw how Iran reacted when they scored winning goal. I mean, Hamid Esteli was actually playing in the S League with Iran.
Oh my God, that name.
Right. Yeah, so you're an S League fan, or if you're a Iran fan, you'll remember Hamid Esteli, Muhammad Kapoon. They were all part of that squad.
Yeah.
Right. So we are in unprecedented times, but World Cup aside,
Asian Cup is actually worrying. What can they do,
what options would the organizers have?
Organizers have to sit down now and start brainstorming, right? If it's not going to be, I cannot fathom the idea of still having it in Saudi Arabia. I can't, right? Obviously, no, right? I've read some articles where they said that, maybe we use the areas which are not in the conflict and all that, but I cannot fathom it, because there are going to be tons of people flying over to see this, and they're probably going to stay away. And my thoughts is, please don't cancel it, because I've been looking forward to it so much. Another host country, right?
So I think there are options available, and from a strategy perspective, if you are AFC today, you really want to have all those plan A, B, C, D area. So one would be postponement.
Yeah.
Right. But postponement, I think, doesn't work, because what happens if this is really a prolonged conflict?
Yeah.
Goes on for a year. So you postpone till when? You can't postpone for too long. Another option would be to obviously change the host.
Change your host, yeah.
If they want to change the host, they actually have got to make that decision now.
No. Yeah, exactly. If they want to change the host. Just to add in, I think one of the safest places here right now is in Southeast Asia.
I think so. You've got Singapore, you've got a stadium, right? Stadium is ready. You also got a smaller stadium in Jalan Besar or in Bishan, which are also Casper. You got Malaysia, right? So maybe that's one.
Is that Malaysia's way in?
And it's the good venues. Bukit Jalil, they've got JP. They've also got stadiums all across the states. And you've got Thailand.
And Vietnam. Yeah, I mean, 4 countries, very feasible. Boost tourism. Right?
Exactly. Is ASEAN as an entity had wanted to actually host the World Cup in 2034. There was a plan to kind of host the World Cup together. They should actually come together now and say, look, no, I think let's take this,
Yes.
thing away from Saudi Arabia. It's a conflict zone
Yeah, it is a conflict zone.
right now to make sure the Asian Cup goes on
Happens.
and it happens and it's as scheduled, but in a different occasion. And hey, look, Singapore is in, right? We don't even now need to have like a special dispensation to play Malaysia.
That's hey, Malaysia needs that, right?
And these all matches at the National Stadium would be full.
True, 100%.
And if I was in AFC, and if KFC is listening to this, AFC should actually get the job done. What are you waiting for?
I mean, you got to look for people to put their hands up, and people countries should be putting their hands up right now.
But I think the first thing to do is AFC needs to get out and ask, right? And let me share something with you, which I'm quite sure you may not even know, or maybe our listeners may also not be aware. But Singapore was supposed to host the Asian Games in 1978. Okay, in 1972, at the Munich Olympics, Singapore made a presentation to bid to host the Asian Games.
In 1978.
In 1972, we made the bid to host
Okay.
the Asian Games. In 1978, which means the 1978 Asian Games. In 1970, so 1972 was at the Olympics Asian Games Federation meeting to decide who's going to be the host for the 1978 Asian Games. 1974 is in Tehran, in Iran. Okay, Singapore beat Fukuoka to host the Asian Games in 1978. We won the bid. 1 year later, we pulled out for hosting. Why?
Why?
Because our government realized like it is going to be exorbitant in terms of costs. Because in 1973, after we hosted the SEA Games in Singapore, for the first time, it cost us $2.7 million to host the SEA Games. And the Asian Games, which are going to be held 3 years later, in 1978, would have meant that there were double the number of us
Countries. Yeah.
And we needed to have an indoor stadium as well as an indoor pool built for the Asian Games. Right? It was a prerequisite. The commitment we did in 1972, the commitment we made to the Asian Games Federation was we will build all of that for the 1978 Asian Games. And in 1973, that decision was revoked, as in like the government made a decision to pull out from hosting because of costs, and because as a growing nation at that point, money needed to be spent on building homes, roads, schools, and not hosting the major games, right? So these things do happen, right?
How does someone learn about all this? Because I have no idea. I was born in 1979. I had no idea this happened. Yeah.
Is why I say not many people in Singapore would actually be aware of this.
Yeah.
But it's a fact. It's a fact, and it's not something which I come up with or just kind of like it's factual. And obviously through research, history, understanding, the things which we have gone through. So we can't run away from hosting the SEA Games, right? We can actually, if we are, I think we are one of the smaller countries. We can actually say, look, we can't host it because it's too much for us to spend. But 1978 Asian Games, we were supposed to have it. We won the bid and we decided to pull out because of costs. And I think that was a right decision to make. If only we also make that decision for the YOG. Okay, separate issue. That's not the only time where
I'm still recovering from that. But
there was also a time when the 1980 Olympics was out. A whole bunch of countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics in 1980, right? Including Singapore.
Yeah.
As a consequence to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and its continued occupation. So a whole bunch of countries decided we can't go to the Moscow Olympics boycott. Led by the US, a lot of allies then also boycotted the Moscow Olympics, able to train Malaysians. So we've got precedents in the past, right? But this upcoming Asian Cup has got a different cloud about it. It's conflict. It's an ongoing war.
Yeah, it's an ongoing war, and you also fear for the safety of because at the end of the day, the Asian Cup is going to be one of the biggest events in the area, and for anybody to make a statement, yeah,
No, so I think the AFC should do the right thing, right? That decision needs to be made now,
yeah,
right? So to give time for whoever is going to be the host.
to prepare, to get the logistics right, to get everything and have a good Asian Cups, because it is what, 9 months away. Yeah.
Countries around the world are already issuing, orders, for its citizens to be wary of the conflict and not to travel unless it's necessity. That's really a red flag for you to make a public, pledge to bring about a substitute host or substitute hosts. And I'm quite surprised that, until now, they have not done so. I mean, let's not forget that F1 races in the United Arab Emirates as well as in Saudi Arabia have been cancelled,
Yep.
right? Isn't it clear cut? We do have a serious problem to deal with, right? And I don't think, to be fair to all the participating countries in the Asian Cup, the Asian Football Confederation should actually make a decision soon and not wait, because countries need to plan.
Yeah.
Countries need to be able to prepare, and they need to know where they're going to be played. Right now, no country can even go to Saudi Arabia to start being recce. You know why? It's
impossible. Yeah.
projectors flying all over Middle East. You what? So, which is why it's quite strange that the AFC has not even come out to talk about what's happening.
I think they should come out and clear the air pretty soon. Right? I mean, we have Singapore, we qualified, and we are so happy. We are looking forward to thoughts is being 10 months away. Okay, 10 months away, something has to be discussed now. Plans have to be moved forward. Yeah.
Because you're going to take time to firstly engage all the stakeholders, engage all the countries who are already qualified. Okay, maybe the last round of qualification, there are a few countries which may have a chance. I think, but now, okay, I think Malaysia has now been given the boot because of its issues.
Vietnam is going back in.
But that's at the end of March.
I think Thailand hasn't qualified yet.
April,
Yeah.
we need to engage all the countries a little bit. We may need to do something, So, firstly, find a boss who's willing to do it, or find a few co-hosts who are willing to do it. Push the hosting of Saudi Arabia. Push the hosting of the Asian Cup for Saudi Arabia to some other time down the line. And Saudi Arabia is going to be hosting the World Cup in 2024 already. Right. So you've got to find those options available and actually lay it out there, because it's not too far off. It's not too far away. And these countries want to take part or want to do the hosting. They would also push out the venues, need to make sure it's AFC compatible, whatever needs to be done, when the budget needs to be looked for. There's so much work to do. Look, if this war prolongs, no way is it Asian Cup going to be able to continue in the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's like you basically going to a country and got a target on your back. How would fans actually even be willing to travel with the conflict? I think there will be advisories not to travel. Right? I think there might be even an advisory for actually not to go there because it's dangerous. What do you think are the options available? Or what should the person do?
AFC should start looking for countries that are interested in hosting. I do not want to postpone the AFC Cup for personal reasons. I'm looking forward to it. Right? And I don't think, even if you postpone it, there's no clear answer when this conflict is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right? Like you said, push the Saudi Arabia hosting down the line. Get some other hosts that is ready and coming up. Nations looking to host it should put up their hands right now. Right? I don't think one nation needs to take the whole brunt of it. Share it. You get me?
It's been 20 years. Maybe they should do it again.
Yes.
But include Singapore.
I would be so excited watching Asian games, AFC games at the National Stadium.
Yeah, exactly. Gosh. Right. The last time we had an Asian Cup in Singapore was in 1984.
Yeah.
Right. But even then, do you know that the FAS when they hosted the Asian Cup in 1984, they actually incurred a loss in the organizing. A loss of about $500,000 because the spectatorship was very, very low, very, very poor. And then the FAS actually appealed to the AFC for a subsidy to help them to cover the loss because they made a loss of $500,000 in hosting the Asian Cup.
Sure.
By the way, there are some matches at the stadium. We're only like 1,000 fans. So
Right. I don't think it's going to be 1,000 fans now, right? I mean, guys, you've got so many football fans in Singapore.
not according to not when Tampines Rovers played against the Bangkok the other day, it was only 1,000 fans who turned up. That's the only number of hardcore fans. What do you think? Do you think the FAS would actually put a hands up and say, look, we like the host?
Come on, FAS, do this.
But
Yeah, please do this.
like, they should.
Yeah.
I mean, surely they would like to do it, right? I mean, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's not like as though you're asking for, special information. You qualified for it, what? So we just want to post it, what?
Yeah.
And we kind of think about, these partners, how are we going to get from, issues there? Not bring people to this part of the world. It's safer here.
Exactly. Think about our qualification. Think about what you would do to that Singapore fraternity here.
And the countries coming to this part of the world, they can enjoy with nasi lemak, enjoy tom yum soup, enjoy pho in Hanoi. It's amazing. This area is so much more safer than the Middle East right now.
Yes.
AFC's office is in Malaysia, right?
If it does happen, remember you guys got it here first.
Look, we are trying to solve problems for AFC. Okay, we're trying to think. We're not just complaining. We are thinking for AFC as well.
Yeah.
Okay, we are not just ranting on this podcast. We're thinking of solutions for issues which football faces. This episode, I think, has been quite good because we've actually taught we give information knowledge to listeners, right? About the 1980 Moscow Olympics boycott, the Isaac Cup entry. Oh,
That's why I love doing this with you, Jose. You are the encyclopedia of all this.
Singapore was the Asian Games 1978.
I didn't know that. Right?
And also, we have got so much history in sport. And you know what? But you know something? Bet you didn't know this as well, right? In 1951, we had a swimmer called Neo Treacock, right? He went to the Asian Games in all gold medals. He actually became Singapore's first ever swimmer at the Olympics.
How do I not know this? Do I know this?
He was the first swimmer at the Helsinki Olympics. First ever Singapore swimmer. And he didn't do back actually. He was in he took part in at that time there were not that many swimming events on that. So he took part in the 100 meters, 1,500 meters. And he was like number 28, 24. So that's the kind of if you wanna know and learn about more such things, listen in a bit more. But today, we shared the Asian Cup. I think we want to end off by talking about the Asian Cup and why it's important to us. It's the first time Singapore's qualified. And obviously we're keeping an eye upon what's going to happen. And right now, the conflict in the Middle East actually puts the Asian Cup in Saudi Arabia a bit of a risk. And our bottom line to the decision makers today is they should start making contingency plans and start making decisions early, because they should not be waiting too long to decide, whether or not the competition should continue. And if it does continue, it should have a new set of hosts, right? Because of the gravity of what's happening in the Middle East. So I think that's the whole point we're trying to make with this podcast, because it does look good what's going on. I mean, if you're following the conflict, and not just sticking your head in the sand, we are all being impacted by what's going on. I mean, energy prices are going to hit the roof, petrol prices are going to hit the roof, right? There's a lot of issues which we need to think about, and we should be working from home because they save on petrol.
I don't believe you said that, but yeah, I mean.
Cambodia's asking us for oil.
As if him?
Yes, Cambodia's asking Malaysia and Singapore for oil because they have enough reserves.
Oh gosh.
We have a serious issue here around the world, all because of.
Come on, finish it. Yeah.
I won't be able to enter the US, at any point anymore. Anyway, so before we end off this week's episode, Sasi, tell me how we should push ourselves to push our limits to.
Designed to push limits. Yeah, I'm going to give you a fitness tip. This one is set measurable goals, right? The reason we do what we do at Fight Zone and it's only 30 minutes, it's because that 30 minutes seems like a short enough period of time that you cannot, really exhaust yourself, right? But one of the biggest objections we've had is where people see the people working out, right?
Yeah.
Right? They're like, oh, so strong, eh? How am I going to handle it, right? It's not true because at the end of the day, it is your heart rate is measured. And you go 3 stations in, right? You're 9 minutes down, you still got 20 minutes left, finish the damn thing, and that's that. Coming back to measurable goals, right? Setting measurable goals are very, very important in the line of fitness. Whether it's a distance you want to run, whether it's for a lot of Fight Zone members, I do realize is the number of workouts. It is so brainless that they come in and they do 30 minutes, right? And then they leave, right? So you get a high doing the 30 minutes and then you buzz off, right? So we try and tell them, you lock in the number of workouts. As you log in the workouts, right? What happens is it becomes just part of your life.
Yeah.
You're getting in depth.
Yeah.
Right? And you realize that I can do more. In this 30 minutes, I'm pushing my heart rate a lot more. So setting measurable goals, whether it's once a week, twice a week, right? Or 3 times a week is important. The goals can be, you want to run the distance, right? You want to lose some weight.
Yeah.
You want to do this amount of push-ups, right? Set goals for you only compete with yourself. You compete with what you were last week, what you were the week before, right? That's one fantastic fitness tip. And for those who want to come in for a trial at Fight Zone, please, it's only 30 minutes. Come in, try it out, see how you feel. Yeah.
Great. And they meet us at the National Stadium 31st of March.
Please come in and say hi.
Bangladesh. They should come up to you and ask you, what, can you give me some tips on fitness, how I can stay fit? No, look, we are seated in a very prime area near the media desk, I think. But I need to remind them that we actually bought our tickets, okay? So, there's going to be all of us there. So do come and stick to us. Can ask Sasi about all his fitness tips. So we're looking, are we looking forward to Singapore, Bangladesh?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
To go them by feet.
Let's go in and smash that.
To all our listeners, see you at the National Stadium.
See you guys at the National Stadium.
Let's hope Kevin and his boys, do us proud, and so they will. Let's have like at least 10 goals. Is Bangladesh only them? It's considered. A win is a win. Doesn't matter how you win them, except if you have wings overturned, like how come Jimmy and guys. That's bullshit wings. Okay, so we should not have that. So thanks very much for listening in, and we'll see you again in a week's time.
We'll catch you soon, right? With new topics, new discussions, new pointers. Anybody wants to recommend any issues for us to talk about, please do DM me, Jose, any of my channels.
All right, and all good, and see you again in a week's time.
See you guys. Goodbye.
Warmdown Pod is brought to you by SW Strategies and Fight Zone. Tune in again next week for another episode.